To display. Count on you, encourage you. Please never give up. Home number 236, 329.25. Owned by 𝑉𝑎𝑧𝑢𝑠𝑘𝑖𝑠, 𝑉𝑎𝑧𝑢𝑠 Solar. States, you got the blues, but I've got it too. So that's what we're gonna do. We're gonna laugh and we're gonna pull through. Let's see. So much pain in our work today, as if all we gain is sorrow to display, and pleas for a change to be paved. And much as we watch our rights be taken away, but to understand your purpose, Mr. Amora, you must study, you must read, you must regain all knowledge that our God and Goddess has paved. Remember, the world awaits for you to reveal your face. So you must break up in chains. As you must create a pure way for everyone's to behave. You understand your distractions, cravings, insecurities. You know better than any that all you must do is become 100% empty that way. The fast is very important, that's why you hear it often. So I finally started. No more blues, no more self-setbacks. Take off the hats, reveal the God all, and reveal the God of all, awaiting to be fully, waiting to be brought out fully in the 3D, not hidden in your mind's dream. That's all you can do, nothing you can't do. You count on you, I'm more about you. Encourage you, or I so. Actually, home number 236, home number 235, the dead eye razor, 329.25, owned by 𝑉𝑎𝑧𝑢𝑠𝑘𝑖𝑠, Solar. How can a man make a living and provide for his family without roaming in the streets, without becoming a thug, looking for someone to murder, without selling drugs and packing slugs to leave someone dead underneath the rug? It was his choice. It was his choice not to become a thug. He said no, and he was asked to hit licks and commit robberies so he can live. He was only a kid when he dished. I should read it before I speak them aloud. Sometimes I make errors, so when I pause, that's why. So I gotta start over now. don't believe I'll put these up for I don't post this on, I only put this on YouTube so I can hear them over and over again. So not that I forget, but so I can, instead of listening to music, I could listen to my own voice. My own words. Instead of listening to motivational videos, I could listen to my own thoughts. It's my own experiences. Nipsey Hussle once said, the best teacher in your life is your own experience. It's very true. The Dead Eye Rising, poem number 235. 3/29/25. Poem written by 𝑉𝑎𝑧𝑢𝑠𝑘𝑖𝑠. How can a man make a living and provide for his family without roaming in the streets? Without becoming a thug, looking for someone to mug, without slinging drugs and packing slugs to leave someone. I owe it to myself to speak clearly. Stutter. Excuse me. See, we'll start over. Poem number 335. The Dead Eye Rising. Poem number 235. The Dead Eye Rising. Poem by 𝑉𝑎𝑧𝑢𝑠𝑘𝑖𝑠. Start around. 3/29/25. How can a man make a living without and provide for his family without roaming in the streets, without becoming a thug, looking for someone to mug, without selling drugs and packing slugs to leave someone dead underneath the road? It was his choice not to become a thug. So no, when Nax hit licks and commit robberies so he can live, him and his family. He was only a kid when he did. He knew one foul play, one close snake can get him locked away in chains, robbing his destiny away. Now that he's older, he still chooses not to be in the game, nor to commit any crimes in his life, as he brought himself here, not to sin with those who sin, rather to show them if you live a life of sin, you won't meet such a happy end. Even if you leave due to natural causes, and you meet me at the gates, and your heart is weighed, do not believe I'll bear a happy grin upon my face after atone for the life of violence that you paid and all the sins that you created. How may a man live to earn money and feed his family? Tell me, when jobs reject him, when they see his reflection, he went for cottage for a week. He wanted to stay for the course, but he knew he couldn't pay. He didn't have money, so he went out seeking a job and hired him. So when the time came, he had no choice but to drop out before they could charge him. I say one is not weak for not wanting to partake in crimes and bang on his own kind. I want instead heal the mind of those toxic pride to end the poem. I said one slip for too long. Now it's here, as you know. A poem here titled Minor Love, but I didn't finish writing it. So I'll post this to my social medias. So drop these videos up for each parent. Make them one. Home number 237. Date 2/30/25. Titled Peace. Learn meditation to heal your inner speech. Poem by 𝑉𝑎𝑧𝑢𝑠𝑘𝑖𝑠. What is a cigarette gonna do when you're feeling too blue? Ain't nothing but harm you. That smoke gonna abuse you. You see the real truth. The real tool that's gonna heal you is meditation. It's deep realization. I say, don't touch me. What is a cigarette gonna do when you're feeling too blue? Ain't nothing but harm you. I say that smoke gonna abuse you. You see the real truth. The real tool that's gonna heal you is meditation. It's deep realization, profound calm sensation, perfection over deadly weapons. Rather reflecting on what causes your internal lethal injections. Did you get the message? When you feel blue, you smoke a cigarette, and you go so far to take lethal injections. Such causes of events will turn to thoughts of using a deadly weapon, to speech of I should harm self because I can't heal self, to actions of I harm self, and not a world gotta feel the same pain that I felt. See, when we understand our suffering is our thoughts in your mind, you realize that once you quiet your mind, you'll feel peace. So learn meditation to heal your inner speech. I believe you'll find the truth in this poem is that when I mention cigarettes, you start smoking cigarettes. You end up smoking a whole bag of cigarettes. And you get addicted. You're smoking 2, and you go for a 3rd. I speak from experience here, and you end up smoking the whole 20 pack. What I believe is 20 cigarettes in each pack. And now you're smoking 20 of them, and then that leads to smoking blacks. That can lead to smoking weed. And when you don't have weed, you feel you still need something to smoke, so that leads to smoking vapes. And then disposables, smokables, the THC, that gets you high. And then from there you start drinking. And then you start drinking and smoking. Now if you do these things, we're suffering in the mind. You never heal. So I believe you understand that the lethal injections is not just the drugs you're taking, it's the poisonous, what's the word? It's the poisonous intoxications that you put into your mind. The thoughts that arise when you're high, when you're drunk, and the actions you do. So now you have an addiction. You also have a mind of convictions. Your mind is suffering, you're adding on to it. You believe that smoking will ease it. Or maybe you smoke to feel the pain, but you never cured. I believe smoking and drinking should be forbidden everywhere. It escapes you from what is the now, what is here, and it puts you in a false reality to what you want to believe is real. And then once that is gone, you flee for more. Because you can't stand yourself, you can't stand the life that you're living, you can't stand the reality that you're living in. So you start to escape it. It doesn't matter your reason, it doesn't help. So I believe you'll now understand that once you realize that you are suffering, now you can talk about healing yourself. Many believe that meditation is something that only Buddhists do. It's not true. Anybody can meditate. A bird can meditate. Matter of fact, birds always meditate, especially cranes, hawks, eagles. They're always in the unknown. If you ask me, I believe animals are more wise than humans. Humans have all these distractions and they have all these concepts that make them suffer. Letters, numbers, words, feelings, emotions, and beliefs. When it comes to beliefs, we can never truly make peace because everybody wants their belief to be real. They want to be accepted, but the word I'm looking for is they want to be to work around that. Say I believe, well, I do follow Buddhism. Yes. I haven't took refuge in the Triple Gym. It's more personal, so I won't ever get into that. But I do follow the blessings of the Buddha and the guidelines of peace of mind. That's how I find peace in my mind. I believe if I identify in Buddhism, I would not be sitting here today. Found him in a great time of need, rather he found me. And find him. I love animals, especially birds. I feel connected with birds as if I was a bird before. And they know me. I know the truth behind that one. But I believe in the ways of Buddhism. The peace of mind and how to cure the mind and the precepts. I believe in the Four Noble Truths and the Eightfold Noble Path, or the Noble Eightfold Path, excuse me. I believe that it helps, because it helped me, and it's still helping me. Now say a Christian comes along, their beliefs, and this happened before. I had a conversation with a Christian, a woman on Instagram, and I was asking her questions to see what a Christian believed about a non-Christian. And I believe that, I'm not gonna say all, she was very judgmental when it came to who didn't believe in Christianity. I asked her once in that conversation, I asked her, say, if a man was to find liberation for himself, does that mean he deserves to be, does that mean he deserves to suffer when he leaves his realm, when he leaves his body? She tells me, if he didn't find his liberation through Christ, he will suffer, and he'll go to hell, and things like this. And I said, well, is that fair then? For a man to seek self-liberation, is that fair that he lived a life of peace, taught peace? As you see, I'm explaining the Buddha to her, taught peace. He could have kept his knowledge to himself, but he spreaded it. He cured many people to this day. And I said, is it fair that man goes to hell after he leaves his body in his realm? She says, if he doesn't find it through Jesus Christ and the blood of Christ, he goes to hell. And he suffers. And then next, so what do you do when you are suffering? She says, I seek the word of Jesus. And I said, well, what is the word of Jesus? She didn't tell me. Well, she did, but I'd rather learn myself. So I don't speak from her knowledge. I'd rather get my own. So I don't say what she said, because I really don't remember the scriptures she said. But she just kept sending me scriptures. And I said, no, what is your knowledge? What do you know for yourself? How you hear yourself? She sent me more scriptures. So I said to myself, this is a problem we have in our world. We can't accept other people. We want to learn what they believe and make them believe what we believe, so we feel, I still can't remember that word, so we feel, that's a good example. You can never work around things. You gotta acknowledge it and try to find what you're looking for. And the word I'm looking for is, they want to feel validated. That's what they want to feel validated. They want to be validated. They want to believe that they're not following the wrong. I'm not saying Christianity is wrong. I will never share my personal beliefs on this phone screen in such a way like that. They want to feel validation. They don't want to believe that possibility of them believing in the wrong thing and them following the wrong ways of life. I'm not saying anything is wrong. I believe what you believe, as well as you don't have peace because there's many different belief systems, there's many different religions, and every one of them, I can't say all of them, many of them discriminate against others. And when they get the opportunity to talk down on the other religions, they'll do so, and they'll uplift their religion. They'll say, although Buddha taught peace, he didn't believe in God, so therefore, he not trust his words. Or they'll go and say, if a Muslim believed in Allah and the Egyptians believed in the sun gods, and the Christians believe in the one God, they'll end up being that comes and believes in nothing, and they'll put them all in a room and they'll argue all day about whose God is real, whose God is not real, who belief is real. I believe that this is no resolution. I believe that's a waste of time and a waste of breath to even engage in a conversation like that. Because now you're fighting with ego against ego. I have poems I would like to read. See it playing with the banner, flying with the banner. I believe that banner should say we should all be peaceful. That doesn't add some people to buy more things. See, there's no leadership in the world. There's no encouragement to do better. All encouragement to keep buying and spending your money everywhere. The law of divine oneness. I just made this poem without really studying law of divine oneness. I looked it up before, but I believe that I can describe the 13 laws of the universe, my own knowledge, my own self-knowledge, without having to look it up. So this is what this poem is. My clearest way at the time of April 2nd of this year, 2025. To explain what I believe law of divine oneness is just by the word in the title. Saying I had to begin with many peace and negativity, not okay, I just said that wrong. I meant to say I'd like to begin with may peace and negativity not capture you. Nonetheless, may peace be with you. Now, to define the law of divine oneness, you must first define what the three-letter word law means. Moon was to speak offhand without Googling to provide me. I say that law, the three-letter word means, rather defines as such, something that governs the world. Moon was define the word govern. He would say with the possibility of being wrong, and what they call those things. But above all, in other words, the three-letter word describes all above Something not to be broken is law. Rather worship, praised, obeyed. So what is being worshipped? What is it to be praised? To bow down and to be obedient to the laws that govern you. It's law. So in the same sense, law of divine oneness is, if one breaks the law, there are consequences. If one breaks the human law, a law that governs mortals, that should be given judgment in the courthouse. In that world. Now that we know what a law is, we must define what divine is. I believe divine is the essence of humans is divine. I believe where am I? Let me start over. Law of divine oneness from self-knowledge. I'd like to begin with, may peace and negativity not capture. I'd like to begin with, may peace and negativity not capture you. Nonetheless, may peace be with you. Now, to define the law of divine oneness, you must first define what the three-letter word means. L-A-W, law. If me and Moon was to speak offhand without Google to provide me, I then say that law, L-A-W, the three-letter word, means rather defines as such something that governs the world. If me and Moon was to define what the word govern means, he would say that with the possibility of me being wrong, above all, in other words, the three-letter word describes as above all, something that should not be broken, rather worshipped, praised, and obeyed. So what is being worshipped? What is to be praised? To bow down and to be obedient to the laws that govern you. In that same sense, the law of divine oneness is if one breaks the law, therefore consequences of their actions is to be handed to them. If one breaks a human law, a law that governs mortal, created by mortals, in our present world, they are given judgment in the courthouse. So now that we know what the law is, we must define what divine is, what divinity is. I believe the human essence is divine. We are one with the true Creator. Humans were made to be reflections of the source, of the source and the essence of every human is that we are one divine source of perfect union. So what is divine? The truth inside every human's mind, the truth inside every human's mind that we are more than humans working a 9 to 5. So our so-called governments, leaders, to continue to control our minds. In order to continue on with okay, so I said I didn't complete this poem, but at the end of it I said, in order to continue on of divine, law of divine oneness, the Amun must define what oneness means. We're all one. So I said I didn't finish this poem, I'll talk off head now. Law of divine oneness means we are all one with our surroundings. We're one with nature. We're one with this branch right here, or this leaf. We're all one with every other human. Meaning we're all the same. We're all one in this earth. I believe it's rather simple. I believe if I keep continuing on with it, I'll just be beating the bush. The law of divine oneness is that we're all one. We're all one. If I'm sitting outside right now, everything I'm seeing, the trees, the sky, ground I'm touching, it's all a part of me. I don't exist outside of it. We don't exist separately. It's like we all depend on one another to exist. Leave that simple out. Write a poem another time. Get deeper. Since I didn't finish that one. The eyes of deception. I like this poem. Can't see my own screen. It's so dark. Deception. The eye of deception. And about Mumra. The eyes of deception is a lethal message, paid for neglection, waiting for you to text it, calling for you to stress it. One can be blinded when the mind is so silent. One can be violent when their speech is so silent. The eyes of deception is the counter eye of perfection. It is the in-between the eye of deception and the eye of perfection. Let me start over. The eyes of deception. The eyes of deception is a lethal weapon. The eyes of deception is a lethal message, packed with neglection, waiting for you to text it, calling for you to stress it. One can't be blinded when their mind is so quiet. One can be violent when their speech is so silent. The eyes of deception is the counter eye of perfection. The in-between the eye of deception and the eye of perfection is a counterpiece. Should be this right here. Nothing truly exists to be. The eye of deception is the reason why you roam around the meaning of neglection. The mind is our own lethal weapon. The eye of deception calls you, you ignore it. The eye of deception texts you, so you text it. You text back, what do you want from me? The eye of deception ignores you, now you're stressing. The eye of deception causes you pain. It is your own sufferings of the name. Now the eye of perfection is what blinds you from eternal progression. Why? Thus I believe you see perfection, so you are blinded by your own deception. The counterpiece is true peace. No perfection, no deception. So what is there? Only is. I can't get too far into that because I don't know myself right now. But I do know, sometimes we have an eye of deception. I say left eye, and then eye of perfection. And that centerpiece is the not knowing. As long as we accept that concept to be something, we'll always say that we see false, and then we also see real. And then we say that we see nothing. So we're bouncing in between like past, present, and future. We believe, well, it's the fact that the future is never here, the past is never here. So we say we live in the now, in the present. Every time you snap your finger, you will find that the present is always just repeating. So it's a continuation. And then you can get caught in that concept every time you snap. It's another present, and present. I believe it's more deeper than that. I just don't know what it is. Got a fortune cookie the other day. I enjoy fortunes, other cookies. I believe it's the only hope that society gives you. You know, it's a fortune cookies for free. But the get it from the Asian restaurants, the Chinese restaurants, you don't get it from America. We get them in America, but it's not whatever. But the point is, I got this fortune a few days ago. Yeah, it was 3 days ago. It said, well, I have it on me. It says, say the day this phone breaks, I'll be truly pleased. It says, your willingness to take risks will lead to opportunities that others fear. And I got this. I said to myself, okay. And I tell you, sometimes you already know what God tells you, or whatever you believe. You already know what yourself tells yourself. You still gotta seek answers. I don't see fear. I stood over a bridge about to jump in. I don't believe in fear. The reason why I didn't jump in is because my goddesses and gods told me not to. They gave me a reason why. I said, okay, so where do we go from here? And they said, don't be afraid to speak your mind. Nobody in your present time will do so. I see. But I said nothing, I just walked away. Believe, if I was to ever describe the best day of my life, if I were not to say presently, since I'm alive, I would say that day. Because that day I spoke to the sky, and every time I spoke, lightning arrives. Beautiful day. I'm going to go inside now. May peace and negativity not overcome you, but may peace always be with you. 𝑊𝑖𝑙𝑙.